That's it. That's what we're hoping.
Yeah. So anyway, so Darren, now that we've gone live. So a little formal. Thank you very much, Darren, for doing this, for launching the New Zealand Mediation Circle, and taking out time on in your world tour to do this. There will be times when you will freeze a little bit because you're on the road. I can notice that, but you can hear me.
Yeah. I can hear you loud and clear. And a big thank you for inviting me and being available for today as well.
Thank you for, like I said, taking out time, which you are going to tell us about your world tour a little later. But the first thing is to first introduce the concept, because what happens is that I keep putting this out, but people don't end up really going out and reading about it. So what I do is I use this launch to talk about it, the concept, then how do we take it forward and things like that. And we do know that your family is with you. So they're also, that's a little, like I said, a little mediation circle right there. So that's nice. So what I'm going to do here is that I'm going to put up the website, and it won't take too long. Let's quickly go through it. So, I don't know whether you've ever gone to mediatorvikram.com, but that's where the information is. So today we have actually a lot of activity today.
You take your time here, Vikram. You take your time in explaining what you need to explain.
No,
There's no rush.
I don't have to get your thoughts. I have to get your thoughts. That's the important part. Chris is also here, so we can also say hi to Chris also before we start. Maybe we can do that. But today we have lots of lots of activity today. That we have the New Zealand Mediation Circle, we have the Kazakhstan School Mediation Circle launch, then we have the Australia Reflective Practice Circle launch, then the Mexico gathering, Italy a gathering. So all that is happening. But let's say hi to Chris first, and then we'll go. His audio is also connecting, so we can get him in as soon as his audio is connected. So we go back to the website again to that again. Because I think it's taking time. I don't know. Audio takes that much time to connect, is it? Okay, so basically information, of course, lying here, connecting it and things like that. But the World Mediation Circle, so I call this my resolution revolution. So a World-Wide-Web of Mediation Circles, a little definition of mediation taken from the Singapore Convention, but added the words voluntary, informal, and trusted, which I felt was wrong to take away from the definition, but because of the judiciary getting into mediation, they removed it. I think that's the worst thing that's happened for mediation, but we won't talk about it here. So the idea, Darren, is a moral values, principles, and ethics-based humanistic approach to dispute resolution or conflict resolution, where heart, soul, spirituality play an important role. So mediation, looked at it from that angle, which of course you also have the same thoughts. And then like normal, like amicable and collaborative manner to resolve disputes, but heal and strengthen relationships. I said that is also important. But Darren, that's the first step. This is like disputes and conflicts being resolved on an individual level. But the larger role being that you're creating a safe space, bringing in a community of people who believe that they should sit together, have a dialogue, and collaborate. So that's the larger picture after this next step. So you're creating that space and moving away from debates, activism, and advocacy. So that space exists, those spaces exist, but this space where conversations, dialogue, collaboration, and consensus building happens are not created because it doesn't serve anyone's purpose. Why should people sit together and have a good conversation or a dialogue? So that's the space we're creating. And on a long-term basis, redefine politics at the local, national, and global level by moving from the colonial legacy of divide and rule to consensus building with mediators as leaders. So again, long-term, I'm not saying this is going to happen immediately, and create them in schools, colleges, organizations, and communities. I'll take you through the ones that have been launched. And what do we need? First, all the people who believe that they should sit together and resolve things. That's the larger community. Then we identify those with the mediator mindset. No certification, qualification required. It's just the mindset. And then we also have the peacemakers. And these are people who bring people together. That's an important skill, and differentiating that too can happen as we go along, because first thing is to ask people whom you know who helps people resolve conflicts, and out of that, the ones who have the skill to actually assist them, those are the mediators. And then we have the peacemakers. So that's the larger community. There's a link to a form that people can fill, And then we have whatever's happening in the year, date wise, and the mediation circles which have been launched. So I'll take you through the circles, but this is the basic thought. So Darren, your thoughts.
My thoughts. Well, it's a really, really good initiative. And see, we're up to circle number 44, which is great. And for me, I was thinking about this a little bit last night, is how we can, so just in terms of taking the circles forward, how the circles can learn from each other and how we can share our experiences and how we can also share, how we're getting traction with the circles to, to help each other throughout that. I can see a real benefit in particular for using this, for example, for schools, community groups. The bigger picture when you're talking about redefining politics, as you said, is probably a rather larger step. And I like the idea of integrating this type of a network through grassroots and then letting it grow through, hopefully, to bigger picture discussions, as you discussed at local council and government level. I think I've touched on this before in one of our chats. In New Zealand, there is an organisation called the Peace Foundation, and they have what they call it's called Cool Schools Mediation Program, where they go to primary and to high schools, secondary schools, and it's slightly different, but similar in lots of ways. So with the primary schools, is they go in and they provide training to teachers, and then the teachers take that learning and embed that into their lessons with students, and from that, students are taken and given some extra training by the teachers and by this organisation, and then they're rostered on at break times in the playground to try to resolve playground disputes. And then there's a similar, but slightly different program for secondary school, where the students get a whole day's training, and there's a requirement, I believe, for at least one teacher to do the training. Students who then talks to their colleagues and explains the training that's been done, and then in a similar way, those students have put their hands up and become sort of mediators in that school community, resolve disputes through the work they've done, and they're given like supervision by the organisation ongoing. There's already, I don't know how long it's been running in New Zealand for, but it's been running for at least 6 or 7 years that I know of, possibly longer. It's being used in my children's school to really good effect. There's a number of sort of aspiring mediators, if you like, within the school cohort of my children's school, which is great to see.
Perfect. Now, the difference here will be that it's never going to be training, and it won't really be supervision, because the point is that the culture of mediation starts with people identifying those people whom they trust. It's their space, it's their mediator, it's their peacemaker. So for me, the starting point is to ask them, who do you know who helps your friends or whatever. I'm talking about the school level, and the same thing applies to families, communities, organizations, colleges. Then whom do you know who helps people resolve fights, misunderstandings, miscommunication? I don't even want to use the word conflict and dispute. And they identify them, or we ask them, whom would you trust if you have a fight? Whom would you trust to help you resolve it? So they are now giving us, that's why I said the starting point, the definition, trusted person. It starts with their trusted person, and we have to remove the authority figure from the picture totally, because that's the way that things have happened. Because at a very young age, these children start looking at an authority figure coming in to help them in whatever way, to discipline someone or whatever. I mean, you have things like, I would put it at a school level, you have detention, which is the jail. and you have the teacher
Sure.
coming in as the court. So all those need to be removed totally. And the training part of it, for me, the thing is that the people who have the mindset, they have the mindset, they have to develop their skill, and the best way to develop the skill is to practice. So give them the opportunity to practice, open them out to the larger community. So same thing, like I said, school, college, community, same thing happens. And then for people who actually experience it, they don't have the skill of a mediator, but they have the mindset that they can actually, they want to resolve things. But Chris is saying that he's in the middle of another matter. So Chris, come in whenever you are free. So the point is that, yeah, for them to actually experience it, that's the best way to learn it. So they can actually sit in when these people are, maybe if the other children are okay with it, and just get an idea. Yes, this does happen. People are able to resolve things amicably, and then we'll have these people who are mediators to at least in some way give us they tell us about their experiences without with maintaining the confidentiality, and record it, in a video, or we have a newsletter for every circle. So those experiences are recorded, which gets circulated, that okay, this person had this issue and so came in and did this, and this is how it was resolved. So they get to know everything about mediation without even actually needing to use the word mediation. So that's my approach for everything. That's school, college, community, organization. So it's the same kind of thing. I don't know what your thoughts on that are.
Yeah, well, I agree with a lot of that there. For me, I suppose, yeah, if there's sort of thinking back through my life, and there's lots of people who stand out as um, dispute resolvers in all kinds of ways in professional life, in my personal life, who you can see helping disputes between friends, family members, etc. Um, so there are lots of people out there who have got those sort of natural ability to do that. Just on the training part, I wonder if I personally found it really helpful when I started my career in mediation to have developed some tools before starting my practice. And I want of getting people to come forward and stand up to be dispute resolvers, whether they would have more confidence if they had some skills and strategies before sort of launching into practicing dispute resolution. What do you think about that, Vikram? Of giving some people some who might need a bit more confidence than others to jump into a dispute.
I don't know, the way I'm looking at it is that there is a certain kind of, let's keep it as a little uniqueness in relation to each of those human interactions. To put it into a box as to telling someone do this, do that, and do that, I feel sometimes it limits a person's approach, and the evolution will happen, like I said, by practice. The opportunity to practice is not there. So, of course, you have a few. I'm saying when we're looking at this is now grassroots level, when you're looking at people
Mm.
helping their friends or their relatives or colleagues, these people are doing it in closed spaces. So they have these few people they do it for. What we're doing is,
Yeah.
like I said, opening them out to the larger community, so they get lots of more opportunity, and honing your skill does need to happen, but it needs to happen with you actually getting the opportunity. So we give them that opportunity. The other aspect of learning from each other, that happens through the reflective practice circles that we'll create in every circle. So
Mm.
you will talk about your experiences and what you faced in certain mediations and your challenges or whatever you learned from it. You'll share it with others. But the best way to learn is from real life situations. So that's what the reflective practice circles will be for. And the other way is that, I mean, I'm saying that, say I was giving this example to people about the college. Now you've created a circle in a college. Right? First of all, you are the face for that circle in that college. Now, when these college students go out into the communities and families and spread the word and create circles there, they've taken you with them. So now, if they can themselves resolve things, within their families and the communities also. Young people also have wisdom. They also have the skill. This is not age based at all. So if they can do that there, they, I mean, sometimes may not maybe able to handle certain things, or they, some people might not trust them because of their age. They bring you in, but you come in as their co-mediator.
Mm.
So they will learn with the from the process with you. So in a way, you've opened, first of all, you've opened yourself out to lots of more mediations, which is what you needed for, because there are not enough good people out there who have that humanistic approach, like I told you. I mean, there are not too many people like that. So you have to be there, available for a much larger number of people and mediation. So you opened yourself out for that. You found your co-mediators. They've learned with you from your practice, practicing with you rather than theoretical. This is not a theoretical activity at all. You connect with theory
Mm.
because you know about the practice, because it's a way of life for you. So theory is not really teaching you, it's connecting you to something that you don't have words for. But those other people who write those books
Mm.
have good words. They can write it in words. Say like Ken Cloak, he has his words of wisdom are available to us, but you're connecting with it. So you relate to it, and you think you've really, I mean, really, like, this is now my learning, but actually it's something that takes through words something which is in you. So I'm saying that part of it is a practice kind of thing. It's like Ella will tell us, being a mother, she wasn't trained to be a mother. She didn't get a certification to be a mother. She had a child came into her arms. She knew what it was to be a mother. It happened and it was natural. And she brought up her
Yes.
children in a unique way, which is what was required. If there was a structure, you have to do this with your child, 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, you are really limiting what a mother needs to do. So the mother knows what to do,
Mhm.
a mediator knows what to do. It's an inherent kind of thing, but give them the opportunity. She's also learning. She's also learned over time with one child, bringing one child up, then the second one, maybe certain things she learned from the first one. So that learning, this human interaction is learning through practice. So which is the way I want to put
Yes.
it out there. I don't want it ever to be a situation that we know what to do. We will tell you these are the 5 ways you have to go about it, or these 7 steps you have to take, or no, we don't want to do that. So this is what I want to put out to everyone who part of the circle. This is not a rocket science. It is human interaction. To go with your heart, connect to the soul. Your spiritual development will take the process perfectly all right the way it has to, and you don't have to keep worrying about it, because a lot of countries there is a lot of pressure that this is the way you have to practice and this is the certification you need, and they've created this whole, I don't know what kind of a thing around mediation. But it's happening more on the grassroots level, because these people are doing it in schools, colleges, organizations, communities all the time, and much more is happening there than in the mediation world. People in the mediation world
Right.
might believe that yes, they're doing a lot, but actually it's all happening out there. We're just bringing it out, what is already there, we're just bringing it out into a little space and bringing these people into a space. But what I do need to do is I'll take you through the very various mediation circles, only to say this, look, it's not just in schools, colleges, it is also issue based. So I'll do, but Daniel is here. We'll say hi to Daniel if Daniel's coming in. Daniel, you want to come in? So yes, Daniel is coming
Oh,
in.
hi.
Yes, Daniel. Hi, Daniel.
Nice to meet you.
Nice meeting you. Do you know Darren?
No, I
Hi,
don't.
Daniel.
Hi. I
Have
really
you?
apologize. I just saw this invitation coming in,
Okay.
uh, but I'm just heading out of the office. But thank you for the invite, and I'll be happy to be involved in any future activities.
Thank you for coming in. That if you want to do your little introduction, because I didn't even ask Darren to introduce himself, because he's been on certain events and shows of mine. So, but I think Darren, please introduce yourself to Daniel. Daniel will tell you about himself, because part of the circle you need to know each other. So
Yeah.
please.
Yeah, right. Hi, Daniel. So my name is Darren Rawlins, originally from, excuse me, from London, England. I moved to Auckland in New Zealand around 8 years ago. Husband and father, 2 children, 9 and 7. And I've been practicing as a mediator for around 8 years. Before that, as a litigator in London. And I my practice is quite varied. So from employment, property, parents with separated, um, wills and trusts, a little bit of coaching as well, and some commercial civil dispute. As Vikram said, we've spoken a number of times on Zoom and on the phone generally. So that's me in a nutshell. But hopefully my details are in the event. So if you want to connect afterwards, I'd be delighted to do so.
I'd be happy to. Nice meeting you.
So Daniel, yeah, a little bit about yourself, Daniel, if you.
Yeah, just in 2 words, and I really apologize. It just popped in my calendar, and I thought, oh my God, it would have been a great thing to know about in advance. I'm from Israel originally, and I've been living here in Dunedin for the past 10 years. I'm the program lead for the graduate diploma in conflict resolution at Otago Polytechnic, and yeah, I'm just so it's more about education that my practice at the moment at least focuses. But I'm doing some mediation. I'm on the board of the Dunedin Community Mediation Center, and I'm affiliated with a few organizations such as Fairway. You probably know about them, Darren. Yeah, so that's me in a nutshell.
But let me also tell you that Darren is actually right now on a world tour. So right now he's in Vietnam, and he was actually here to take it. He was supposed to be, I mean, he is out with his family, and he was almost going to cancel in, but I said, please, you have to do this, because obviously we've sent out these invites. So he's on his way somewhere. We have that little mediation circle inside that car also, because every family has to create a mediation circle. So he has his children and wife at the back there, and he's been able to resolve this thing by saying, okay, I'll do it in the car. I'll do the event in the car, and we'll still go where we have to go. So these are the little things where you have to resolve these little issues. Otherwise, he might not have been able to participate.
As we know, multiple of these daily, right?
Exactly.
This is life.
That's what I'm saying. Everyone is doing this all the time. It's just created into some big rocket science kind of thing. But Daniel, what I did was right at the beginning, I took Darren through the website, because I've really put out a brief on the World Mediation Circle there. But this is more a conversation kind of thing, what my thoughts are. But the point really is the World-Wide-Web of Mediation Circles, and a humanistic approach to dispute resolution, with heart, soul, spirituality playing an important role, which you'll hear a lot from me, because I even did a symposium on heart, soul, spirituality and mediation, because I feel, because if you can program people to be mediators, then we have artificial intelligence today. Work on it, because everyone has access to that. Give people that, okay, tell people, go there, make that your mediator. Much better doing that. But if you need that humanistic approach, for some time, maybe humans might be required for that, but I think artificial intelligence can also maybe reach a point somewhere. Let's see where that goes. So I took a little brief there, and they are being created in schools, colleges, I mean, communities, organizations, and also issue-based. I'll take you through the ones that have been launched.
Sure.
But the whole idea is that at no point of time that are we going into these places and saying, look, we are going to train you, or we are going to teach you. No, these people know what's it's all happening out there. So people have that mediator mindset, peacemaker mindset. They're all out there. We just have to bring them out from those closed spaces that they do it in. So they do it within families, or in communities, or in even children in schools or colleges. So get them out, say, look, they are doing this. What did they do? They talk about their experiences. So it moves away from this rocket science, that concept that's been created around mediation, down to this is basic human interaction. It all happens all the time. Some people have this mindset, but we are going to give them an opportunity to practice more, because now they've gone beyond that closed space that they're doing it in. Now they've reached it. Now we're getting them out to a lot more people who now they've been identified, and telling people to use that. So that being the basic idea. Second stage, we are now, because this is a community that we are developing, so it is what I call a safe space for conversations, dialogue, consensus building, without activism, advocacy, or debates. I mean, we have those spaces available all the time, and wherever, in colleges also, schools also, they create those spaces. But what about the spaces where people just come together and have a good dialogue, and just work on consensus building, understanding everyone's point of view? People don't create those spaces because it doesn't serve anyone's purpose. Divide and rule is what the colonial legacy was. We got that, and we continued. Politics continued with that. So,
Mm.
and the long-term thing is that we redefine politics with mediators as leaders, because you have to work towards consensus building. So step by step, we'll get there. But the first thing is to get that community together. So of course, we're creating on a country basis. So what I will do is I'll take a minute to take you, because I don't know whether you've gone through the website, just a
Really
little.
apologize. People are waiting for me at the
Okay,
gate.
okay. Yeah. So please watch the recording. The recording's available on YouTube because it's
I will
going
definitely
live there also.
I'll be happy to touch base, Darren,
Yeah,
when you're
it's
back.
just the various mediation circles, and we'll fix a time for the next gathering. So please come in and we'll create further circles in New Zealand. So thank you very much for coming
Thank you
in,
very
Vikram.
much. I'm sorry I had to leave. Thank you.
Nice to
No
see you,
problem.
Daniel.
Bye.
You too.
So a quick one, Darren, quick one on the circles which have been launched, so that we are going beyond just the schools, colleges, communities. So one, the larger World Mediation Circle, all the circles being part of that. Then country-wise, so this is like India. Then we have the World Indigenous Peoples Mediation Circle. So wherever you see the world, global, international, we'll also have that in country-based. So we'll have a New Zealand Indigenous Peoples Mediation Circle, which I feel will have an important role to play. We'll discuss what all has to happen there, and whoever wants to work in those areas can come together for those. Then we have the International Reflective Practice Circle. So every circle to create that, down to, I'm saying, down to even a community, a school, college. The idea is for people to sit together and share their experiences, which, I mean, we'll have a gathering of the international one. Today we have one for the Australia one, but we'll have a international one, talk about what all we want to do there. So we'll do that. Then we have the International Commercial Mediation Circle. Similarly, we'll do that commercial mediation circle. So people who work in that area come together, which means the users and the mediators and the, I mean, we still call them peacemakers coming in there. And then the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. So one, the larger circle to achieve those goals. And goal number 17 being collaboration and mediators and mediation, definitely an important aspect of it. But then for each goal, we'll have a separate mediation circle. So for goal number 5, which is gender equality, I launched the Global Gender Equality Mediation Circle. So similarly, we'll do for the others also, and down to the local level. So global down to even the smallest level, I mean, community level, we can do that. Then the World Refugee Mediation Circle. Then the International Organizational Mediation Circle. So creating circles in every organization, a mediator for every organization. So we have to also look at work for mediators, because like I said, to give them opportunity to practice. So every organization to have a mediation circle. And then we have the International Family Mediation Circle 1, the people who practice in this area, of course, coming together, but down to what I told you earlier, every family to have a mediation circle. So that's important, finding those people right in the family. And again, giving them an opportunity, but also identifying them for the larger community. And this is a game that Massimiliano created for people to experience conflict resolution through a game. So children and workplaces also can have that. Then we have the school and college mediation circles. But the launches of all these circles, the recordings are on the website. There's a section on that. You can watch those. So environmental, climate change, natural disaster, sustainability, global, down to local. So down to a school creating one. And of course, we have the global. So it's all interconnected. And people who work in these areas come together, because the Zambia Mediation Circle that was launched, those people are actually, all of them are working in relation to climate change. So we'll have some work on specifically on that. Then we have issue-based. So we have Israel, Palestine. Similarly, in New Zealand, if there's some issue, you can create it around that. So those spaces, like I said, don't exist where all the various points of view are actually discussed, and looking at it from everyone's point of view, I think it's important. Then country-wise, so Barbados, then this is a college. So this shows you the web. So this is the college, part of the Global College Mediation Circle, part of the India Mediation Circle, and the World Mediation Circle. The Artificial Intelligence Mediation Circle, like I just told you, if you can better program the machine, because it's available to everyone. So we can do that. But the important one that I've been trying to say is that, look, mediations happen in closed spaces. But if mediators record those experiences and everything, what was the issue, how it was resolved, what went through in the process, what kind of solutions came out, if everyone records it all over the world, then artificial intelligence has so much more to learn from. Because today it'll have content in relation to theory, but this is practical things happening all over the world. So that will be available to everyone. So it's just a conflict resolution intelligence platform. Then we have a gathering every month, last Wednesday. So it's actually at, I think, 1:30 India time on 24th. If you're somewhere close to a, I mean, you're close to some good connection, please drop in. Then we have country-wise Turkey. Then we have this book. This is book that he wrote. Then we have Ecuador. This is a community that I live in. So again, you can see the web kind of thing. So global community mediation circle. And then country by Ghana. The book that Ken has written, his latest book. We discussed that. And then we have Greece, France, Ireland, Kazakhstan. Kazakhstan, of course, we are doing various circles now, launching with the school one today. Then Ecuador will be doing the reflective practice one on 26th. Greece, we're doing the school one. So each of the circles now then further create circles on each of those various things. Italy, Australia, just reflect France. Okay, so Peru, Pakistan. This is what I was saying, that this is the goal number 5. So one circle for that. And then we have gatherings, Poland, Mexico, Zambia. These are the people I was saying working on climate change. And then Benin and Brazil, Australia for gathering happened. And then Romania, Ecuador, Spain, Canada, Poland. Today we have lots of activities happening. So this is Darren doing this launch. And then a little later we have the Kazakhstan School Mediation Circle launch. Then the Australia Reflective Practice. Then Mexico gathering. Italy gathering. Then the launch of the US. Then we have South Africa and Egypt happening. So this is the broad idea. So much. So each of them we're going to be creating circles. So Darren, when are you going to find time to start looking at, I think, school mediation circle, New Zealand school mediation circle? That should happen. We have 2 people in the car itself.
Yeah, quite. Yeah, look, I think that's a really good place to start. As you'll, everybody will remember from their days at school, there's a little bit of conflict happening day to day, so lots of opportunities for people to resolve disputes there, and to be known that they're doing it, to the point you've been making.
But the only question that please circulate it wherever you can, friends, colleagues, anywhere in the world, all over the world, that you know anyone who helps people resolve disputes, or would you trust someone to help you resolve them? Let's get those people and start getting them into the gatherings. We'll ask them to tell us about their experiences, what they do, because I want those simple experiences to be discussed. Larger the mediation world that we have, of course, that exists, but what about all these people who are doing it without using the word mediation, without using the word mediator? Let's get those simple experiences. And the idea is to create a newsletter for every circle. So we'll put it there, and they also get identified because of that. So the person's profile is there, what the person did, and the other people who benefited, they can come and talk about it. So the entire is like a conversation, but then we should put it down on paper, because a lot of people don't have time to watch recordings maybe. So that's the larger thing. So I know now it's the time that how far is the place that you're going to?
Quite close now, I think.
Yeah, because your signal also will get affected, I'm sure, if that's something. So this is
Yeah, yeah, we're getting close, I believe.
perfect. Well, I was asking if Chris wanted to come in. Chris, if you want to come in, because Darren, like I said, is on his world tour, so he's got something planned today with his family. So he has to leave now early, as he was saying. But Darren, when do you, I mean, do you know your schedule as such? You want to fix a gathering of the circle sometime later, maybe next month? Okay. So Darren is, I think, signal's gone. So Chris, I think what we'll do is we'll fix a date for the next. I mean, I normally do it every month. So today is the 3rd Wednesday, so we can do it on the 3rd Wednesday of the month at the same time. Yeah, that's it. So I'll fix that right now. So Anyway, Darren, I think is gone. So I think I'll close the live stream here. If Chris, you don't want, cannot come in, and we'll have a chat later. So thank you very much.